EP45 opening script. Finalist second Proud Korean Screenplay Competition. Original screenplay, Scorpio, adapted into the 123 episode. Epic spy thriller, Beauty Spy War. Episode 45, put Eun-ah on the polygraph. Episode 44 recap. The attending nurse raises strong suspicions, as if someone used it and loosely replaced it. Was the sheet used to wrap the gun-hiding GSR? Investigators race to Seoul outskirts laundry factory. Find only the pink ones. The washing machine is already running. We should have collected GSR from the female operative at the scene. That was honestly my mistake. I'll run a polygraph examination. Doctor G, please help us. Today's episode 45. Abandoned industrial zone. Assassin on his knees. Mission failed. I have committed a crime worthy of death. Please spare my life. Comrade Jang Eun-young. The shocking true identity of femme fatale Eun-ah. A loyalty agent planted deep inside NIS by North Korea's Reconnaissance General Bureau. Rose-shaped handkerchief forced into his mouth. Hyuk Saw's thumb slowly turns downward. Poison chemical tanker truck reverses through the factory doors. NIS conference room. The polygraph decision is made. The room was unusually dry. No one smiled. Blood pressure cuff, finger sensors. Chest respiratory band. Relevant questions, control questions. Critical questions repeated. Did you shoot the operative? Eun-ah breaks the question down, word by word inside her mind. Keeps only one word, then answers. Dr. G's eyebrow rises just slightly. That smile was not a smile of certainty. Thermal imaging camera catches the blood flow change. Doctor, go lock the door. The polygraph is just a tool. The final judgment is mine. Episode 45 begins now. Episode 45. Put Eun-ah on the polygraph. An abandoned industrial zone. A cold wind swept across the empty lot. Scraps of plastic sheeting pushed and scattered by the wind. Step inside the warehouse and there was a man on his knees. Look closely and it was unmistakably him, the one who had slipped into Sang-wook's hospital in a doctor's coat, intent on finishing the job. A North Korean operative standing beside him peeled the tape from his mouth. I have committed a crime worthy of death. Please spare my life. So you know you've committed a crime worthy of death. Comrade instructor, please spare me. You caused enormous disruption to our republic's profound plan. And you put in danger the bold and far-reaching plan that has been our party's long-cherished mission. The infiltration went so well. Then suddenly those NIS dogs. From the south came storming in and everything fell apart. Comrade Jang Eun-young nearly ended up in a dangerous position because of you. Comrade Jang Eun-young? Who are you talking about? Is that woman's call sign Jang Eun-young? That's none of your concern. Jang Eun-young. She was one of the rare loyalty agents that North Korea's Reconnaissance General Bureau had deliberately placed inside the NIS. Femme fatale operative Eun-ah, who had entered the investigation unit under a completely different identity. A figure who had meticulously laundered her identity from childhood and secured herself in a superior position. She had become one of the core agents that the Workers' Party actively supported and protected. To ensure she rose without interruption. It is no easy thing for a seed to be carried by the wind to distant soil and take root there. How much harder still to enter the iron heart of the enemy, survive, and take root. And yet here, just as they had labored and finally dared to expect great glory. What a situation to be in! Facing NFS examination on top of NIS internal investigation. She had been placed in an extraordinarily difficult and precarious position. In the South, a mistake is the same as tightening the rope around your own neck. I am deeply sorry, comrade. Even at this very moment, comrades across the South are quietly giving their loyalty to the revolutionary cause. You have given them an enormous lesson. A lesson? Sometimes to keep an organization running tight, there are times when a whip and an example are needed. Comrade, please spare me just this once. This comrade talks too much. Far too noisy. What are you all doing? Before the words were even finished, the North Korean operative moved in with terrifying calm. He reached into the breast pocket of his suit and pulled out a rose-shaped handkerchief. Then forced it deep into the operative's mouth. Muffled sounds tore from his throat, gagging, choking, desperate, until the tape sealed everything shut. Forced it in completely, then sealed the mouth again, with the tape that had been briefly removed. Comrades, educate this comrade thoroughly. Show him clearly what happens when someone endangers the organization. Yes. Understood. At a single word from Hyuk saw the face of the kneeling comrade drained to white, blank as paper. The powerfully built North Korean operatives standing nearby stepped back. With a mechanical whirring sound, a small crane inside the factory began moving like a robot. It gripped the failed comrade with its clamp and hoisted him into the air. Hyuk Saw raised his thumb firmly upright, then slowly turned it upside down. The factory door on the far side opened and sunlight poured in. A large truck that had been standing on the other side drove in. A poison chemical transport truck reversing in. The driver navigated around obstacles with practiced ease, and brought the truck to a stop just ahead. A special vehicle, a massive chemical tank mounted on the truck body. A large truck with the round tank base, reinforced with steel plates, welded firmly in place. A vehicle that had traveled the country, carrying sulfuric acid and various other toxic chemicals. In the NIS main conference room, the heads of key departments had gathered for a meeting. That is precisely the point I'm emphasizing right now. That doesn't mean what I'm saying is wrong, does it? Who said you were wrong? There are many watching eyes. I said this is a necessary procedure, naturally required to dispel the numerous suspicions. Then we'll proceed according to procedure. Let's do that. That way no one can say we're showing favoritism to anyone. Chairman, I believe operative Eun-ah should undergo a polygraph examination in accordance with NIS regulations. Of course she absolutely should be put on the polygraph. And yet must we really do this to our operative, who is grieving the loss of a colleague? And a female operative at that? Is a female operative any different? If shot, her skull shatters the same as a male operative's, her body takes the same holes, she breathes the same, feels pain the same, she is an equal operative in every way. Still there is such a thing as leniency, isn't there? If your eyes well up that easily, how exactly will you handle counterintelligence? Of course we could conduct it through our own NIS internal examination. You could, but for the legitimacy of procedure and the fairness of process, it would be better to entrust it to a third-party institution such as the NFS. The NFS? Going that far? Can't we handle it within the NIS ourselves? We can. Who said we couldn't? Well then, since the NFS apparently has the national president of the Polygraph Research Association, it seems best to entrust such a sensitive matter to them. The national president? Who is it currently? I think it would be best to entrust it to NFS Dr. Jang Woo. He's handled many high-profile social issues and cases that set the public debate on fire. Then no one will be able to raise any objection. Then please cooperate to have the examination proceed immediately. Yes. We will move forward with the procedure. The NFS Polygraph Examination Room. The room was unusually dry. Black wires lay arranged on the table. No one smiled. A blood pressure cuff wrapped around the arm, sensors slipped onto the fingers. The respiratory band tightening across the chest. Eun-ah's breathing grew slightly shorter. You can stay comfortable. Dr. G spoke matter-of-factly. But comfortable she was not. taking deep breaths. Look closely, and the inner tension was leaking through. Is this it? Am I about to be exposed? Of course, when she had traveled to the north by semi-submersible, she had anticipated exactly this kind of situation and been trained for it. At the Myeongsan Lodge, she had listened to North Korean specialists lay out the technical techniques for holding her own against the South's polygraph and had participated in practical drills more than once. Relax. Think only of the good memories. Lying on a bench in the warm Mediterranean sun. It had been so comforting then. That ease she had felt, so rarely, amid the exotic atmosphere. Dr. Ji Jang-woo calmly explained a few points of procedure to Eun-ah. Irrelevant questions, control questions, and relevant questions repeated in sequence. Did operative Eun-ah fire a weapon? No. The polygraph needle moved in normal range, as operative Eun-ah has claimed. Is it true that the operative accidentally shot himself in the leg? Yes. The polygraph needle moved in normal range. Last question. The examiner turned the page. The air in the room stood still for a moment. Did you shoot the operative? Eun-ah broke the question down slowly, inside her mind. She kept only one word. Then she answered, no. The examiner. Dr. G's eyebrow rose just slightly. The machine said nothing. But everyone in the room was watching that line. Eun-ah felt a dryness rising from within. There was some reaction. I'll ask once more. She tried to lower her pulse inside her mind before answering. But the tension did not disappear entirely. We'll stop here for today. The examiner smiled. That smile was not a smile of certainty. Even as Eun-ah had responded with composure, what had frightened her most was Dr. Ji Jang-woo's pressure through silence. The psychological pressure had been immense. And the pattern of repeated questions. She was slowly running through her polygraph evasion tactics in her mind. She had deployed the evasion tactics calmly from the start. She had built a physical state, one that could respond without being shaken by any question. Sweat had soaked through Eun-ah's upper body more than usual. Dr. Ji Jang-woo finished what had been a push-and-pull examination, and stepped into his research office. He went through the chart graphs one by one, checking each line carefully. Exhausted, his energy spent, he heard a knock, and the sound of someone entering. He turned. Dr. Go-eun-hee had come in. Dr. G, you worked hard today. Hey, Dr. Go, isn't this a little too soon? It literally just ended. Shall I make you a cup of coffee? You've been through a lot. Sure, let's have a coffee, Dr. Go. You look worn out, Dr. G. Very tired. Always, I suppose. You'd think I'd be used to monitoring someone's physiological responses by now. But I still get tense. That's the noble attitude of a true professional. Humility and care, that's the finest approach. Don't make my coffee too hot. You have to dissolve coffee in hot water, don't you? Just pour cold water in at the end. That's always how I drink it. Dr. G is a research subject himself. I let hot coffee cool down before I drink it. A research subject, you say? Yes. You make it boiling hot and then rapidly chill it with cold water. Am I that unusual? There aren't many people in Korea who drink it that way. Well then I suppose I am a research subject. Ha ha. Ho ho, you're quite a character, Dr. G. Heh, temperature is just right. This coffee is exactly how I like it. Nothing out of the ordinary with today's examination, I take it? Dr. G lifted his cup from his lips and looked at Dr. Go. Dr. Go, today's chart is a little sensitive. Of course I'll need to analyze it carefully, but why? Someone with as much experience as I have, you know at a glance. Know at a glance? This Eun-ah, she seems like someone who's already had extreme exposure training. Then she knows the principles of the polygraph to some degree? She already has a routine for lowering her pulse, it's in her body. Really? Wouldn't the NIS curriculum cover that too? Of course I have heard that they do train against capture scenarios. Not evasion techniques per se, but preparedness training. The chart shows that? The chart never lies. It is precise and delicate. What exactly does it show? For you to say this, Dr. G? It can't fool the eyes of an experienced professional. What the polygraph records is respiratory activity, electrodermal activity, and cardiovascular activity. I know that. It's used in all kinds of criminal investigations, but lately, companies with important security requirements are also running pre-employment screenings quite frequently. For people like us it's a nuisance, but on the other hand, it's income, so that's something to be hopeful about. The NIS runs regular examinations quite often, doesn't it? Quite often. Regular checks on whether classified information is being leaked, whether espionage activity is being conducted, when recruiting new operatives too, and when operatives who've been stationed abroad return to Korea. They're examined for espionage activity as well. The chart is off, but it was that equipment over there that really caught it. What equipment is that? The blood flow changes gave the lie away. Blood flow changes in which area? Changes in blood flow around the eyes and mouth. A high-performance thermal imaging camera can measure exactly that. What did the results show? This is confidential. A human life is at stake here. Then you're saying the results are not good. Doctor, go lock that door over there. Dr. Go looked at Dr. G with a puzzled expression, wondering what the results could possibly be to warrant this. We're NFS colleagues, so I'm speaking openly. Don't say a word to anyone. Yes. Understood. The truth is operative Eun-ah's results are not normal. Then you're saying a deceptive response came up? Yes. That can't be. Then you're saying a female operative shot a fellow NIS operative with a pistol. The chart never lies. Never. Absolutely never. I don't know nearly as much as you, Dr. G, but it seemed to come out normal to me. Did I read it wrong? Eun-ah understands the structure of the questions. What? How is that possible? Eun-ah deliberately tensed during the control questions, and emotionally detached during the critical question. You're saying she received specialized cognitive training? She has already been trained to separate emotion from fact. Then there was a reaction, but not enough to reach a definitive judgment? The polygraph is just a tool. The final judgment is mine. EP45 ending script. Episode 45 highlights. Abandoned industrial zone. Ruthless retribution. Cold wind sweeping across an empty lot. Assassin kneeling on the ground. Mission failed. I have committed a crime worthy of death. Please spare my life. You caused enormous disruption to our republic's profound plan. Jang Eun-young. The shocking true identity of femme fatale Eun-ah. Planted deep inside NIS. By North Korea's Reconnaissance General Bureau. Identity laundered from childhood, with meticulous, calculated precision. The poison tanker. Ruthless retribution. Rose-shaped handkerchief. Forced deep into his mouth. Hyuk Saw's thumb rises, then slowly turns downward. Poison chemical tanker truck. Reverses through the doors. Special vehicle carrying sulfuric acid. And various toxic chemicals. The face of the kneeling comrade. Drains to white blank as paper. NIS conference room polygraph decision. I believe operative Eun-ah should undergo a polygraph examination per NIS regulations. Third-party institution. The case is handed to NFS Dr. G. Jang Woo. Polygraph. Eun-ah's desperate battle. The room was unusually dry. No one smiled. Blood pressure cuff around the arm. Sensors on the fingers. Respiratory band tightening across the chest. Evasion tactics learned. At Myeongsan Lodge activated. Relax. Think only of warm memories. On a Mediterranean bench. Irrelevant questions. Control questions. And relevant questions repeated in sequence. Did operative Eun-ah fire a weapon? No. Needle normal. Last question. The air in the room stood still. Did you shoot the operative? Eun-ah breaks the question down, word by word inside her mind. Keeps only one word, then answers, no. Doctor. G's eyebrow rises just slightly. The machine said nothing, but everyone was watching that line. There was some reaction. I'll ask again. That smile was not a smile of certainty. Silence, the most terrifying pressure. Sweat soaking through Eun-ah's clothing. Shocking results, the chart never lies. Doctor. G and Doctor. Go coffee time. Today's chart is a little sensitive. The chart never lies. It's precise and delicate. Blood flow changes. Caught by high performance. Thermal imaging camera. Changes around the eyes and mouth. Doctor. Go lock the door. Operative Eun-ah's results are not normal. She deliberately tensed during control questions and emotionally detached during the relevant questions. She has trained to separate emotion from fact. The chart never lies. Never. Absolutely never. The polygraph is just a tool. The final judgment is mine. Episode 46 Preview. Will Eun-ah's true identity be exposed? Jang Eun-young, North Korea's Reconnaissance General Bureau. The net closes completely. New episodes every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Thank you for watching.